On the morning of December 4th, 1872, a ship was found drifting in the Atlantic Ocean with its sails set, its cargo intact, and its lifeboat missing, but not a single soul aboard. The vessel was the Mary Celeste, and what happened to the 10 people on board would become one of the greatest maritime mysteries in American history. She was a 282-ton brigantine built in 1861 in Nova Scotia, originally christened the Amazon. After changing hands several times, she was eventually purchased by Captain Benjamin Spooner Briggs, a deeply religious and respected American mariner from Massachusetts. Briggs was not an adventurer chasing glory. He was cautious, experienced, and known for sound judgment. When he took command of the Mary Celeste in 1872, he intended nothing more dramatic than transporting 1,701 barrels of industrial alcohol from New York to Genoa, Italy. But Captain Briggs made a fateful decision. He brought his family. On November 7th, 1872, the Mary Celeste departed from Staten Island. On board were Captain Briggs, his wife Sarah, their 2-year-old daughter Sophia, and 7 crew members, carefully selected, experienced sailors. Letters written by Sarah before departure painted a picture of optimism. She described the voyage as pleasant, the captain confident, the crew capable. Nothing in those letters hinted at catastrophe. The Mary Celeste sailed east into the Atlantic. The weather reports from November of that year show moderate conditions, some rough seas, but nothing unusual for the season. Meanwhile, another ship, the Dei Gratia, captained by David Morehouse, an acquaintance of Briggs, left New York 8 days later, heading roughly along the same route. On December 4th, 1872, near the Azores, sailors aboard the Dei Gratia spotted a vessel behaving strangely. She yawed erratically. Her sails were partly set and partly in tatters. No one appeared on deck. Captain Morehouse suspected trouble. He sent a boarding party. What they found stunned them. The ship was deserted. The cargo was still in place. The crew's personal belongings were untouched. The captain's navigational instruments were missing, along with the ship's single lifeboat. There was no sign of struggle, no blood, no overturned furniture, no damage suggesting violence. The galley stove was cold, but there was food still prepared. The last log entry was dated November 25th, 9 days earlier. It was as if everyone had calmly walked off the ship. The boarding party conducted a meticulous inspection. About 9 barrels of alcohol were empty, but this was not unusual. Wooden barrels often leaked. The hold contained water, but not enough to endanger the ship. The pumps showed some minor disassembly, perhaps for maintenance. Importantly, the Mary Celeste was seaworthy. She could have easily completed her journey. So why would an experienced captain abandon a perfectly functional ship in the open Atlantic? The Dei Gratia crew sailed the Mary Celeste to Gibraltar, where a British Admiralty court held an inquiry. Salvage law at the time awarded significant financial compensation to those who rescued abandoned ships, but only if no foul play was involved. Suspicion quickly fell on Captain Morehouse and his crew. Had they murdered Briggs and his family? Had they staged the scene? But there was no evidence. The court, led by Attorney General Frederick Solly Flood, became obsessed with proving fraud. He theorized mutiny. He suggested drunken violence. He even proposed that the alcohol cargo had been deliberately tampered with to create an explosion. Yet months of investigation produced nothing concrete. The salvage award was granted, but it was reduced, implying lingering suspicion. As the years passed, theories multiplied. Some claimed piracy, though nothing of value was taken. Others proposed a waterspout, an oceanic tornado that might have caused temporary panic. There were suggestions of a seaquake. Later generations added increasingly fantastical ideas: sea monsters, Bermuda Triangle anomalies, even alien abduction. But modern research points towards something both subtle and chillingly plausible. In 2006, scientists recreated conditions similar to those aboard the Mary Celeste. The cargo consisted of denatured alcohol, highly flammable. If fumes leaked into the hold, they could have created pressure. A small spark, perhaps from friction or static electricity, might have triggered a low-grade explosion. Not a fiery blast, but a pressure wave strong enough to blow open a hatch cover. Witnesses during the experiment described a dramatic whoosh, a sudden burst of flame that left no lasting burn marks. Imagine being Captain Briggs. You smell alcohol fumes. Perhaps you hear a strange boom from below deck. A hatch cover shifts violently. You have your wife and toddler aboard. You know alcohol vapors can ignite catastrophically. The pumps show water in the bilge, possibly giving the illusion that the ship is taking on dangerous amounts of water. The chronometer and sextant